Gamers, welcome back to another episode of me trying to improve at Counter-Strike. And this week, we're going to take a look at how to be aggressive on Nuke. The plan is to take a look at how to be aggressive on both T side and CT side, and what utility we can use to help ourselves do so. The idea is that I can sort my passive playstyle out a bit more, but also so that we can take a look at how to take control of the rounds, have more impact, and win more games. So let's take a look at the usual suspects, Kyousuke and Donk, to see how they play Nuke and continually dominate their opponents, and whether a passive player like me can integrate those plays into my game. But before we get into that, a quick word from our sponsor. Skins Monkey is an automated CS2 trading site that provides an instant way to get your new skins and 24/7 live chat support to help you out in a pickle. All you have to do to start trading is pick the skins in your inventory and then upgrade to something new using their simple selection and filters. And right now, if you deposit money with my code Keyte, you can get a 35% deposit bonus and up to $5 for free on your first trade. So make sure you use my code Keyte or click the link in the description. Right, in order to learn from these players, we need to take a look at their POVs, their point of views, or their demos, and just look at how they use their crosshair placement, how they path into sites, and how they get the advantages as they get aggressive. This way, we can use their exact principles to make our own aggressive plays successful. So first, we're going to take a look at T side on Nuke. Firstly, we're going to look at getting aggressive outside at red. So what you want to do here is you want to make sure you're smoking the cross so the CTs don't get info on how many are crossing or who is crossing. You're then going to get to back red, and you're going to start your fight towards garage. So behind red, you're going to first clear the right side of garage, work your crosshair towards the left side of garage, across to credit as you path, and then from credit, you're going to clear blue box, and from blue, you're making sure you're keeping an eye on hell and heaven, and then work your way across to secret, peeking towards main. This play is also effectively backed up by an aggressive silo play. So if you're in a duo, that is a really effective way to do this. So the way to do that is you have your silo player. First, they should always Molotov top hut if they can. This is really effective of putting pressure on A and making sure that main player fights towards A. The second thing they want to do is nail the movement up towards silo, which I always fluff. So I need to practice that. And then the first job is to clear close red behind the little box. Once you've cleared the close red box, you're then going to help clearing garage by clearing the back of garage and the close main angle. So the straight line here. Once you've done that, your job is to then drop towards the top of main and help take control of main and close little box. So these outside plays require a lot of confidence in your head-to-head gunfights. So make sure you'll keep practicing and make sure you are confident in taking those swings. Of course, there could be a CT that pushes up and aggressive, but that's why it's good to do it in pairs. So there's someone to at least trade you and inflict some damage. And as outside is the most important area of the map on Nuke, this is where you're going to have the largest impact. Here, you need a bit of utility, but you are relying on your gunfights and your confidence. Whereas the next two plays require you to have more an effective trading and pathing routine. First, we're going to look at how to entry into A. This is something a lot of people get wrong because the pathing is not right. So first things to do is to flash towards site. Swing wide into hut to make sure that you can see back sight and then into top rafters. You're swinging to clear front sight, and then you are pathing front sight to clear fake vent and bottom or top hut, and then swinging all the way around to the back of sight via the long route. The reason you do this is so that you're not visible to heaven. And heaven is your biggest weakness in this swing. And fighting towards ramp is a bit of a gamble. So make sure you do this as a pack, because you do this as a pack, you are there to trade or be traded. So the first thing, of course, is to take the space above ramp. So that can be done with an effective flash or just barreling out and trading as you go. The second step is to either molly or smoke hell and get down ramp. Once you're down ramp, the path you want to take is towards double doors from control or glass. So to do this, you want to make sure that you're Molotoving deep to put pressure at the bottom of the double doors so no one can play on the stairs. Nade if you can, and then play towards that. Again, doubling up is a fantastic way to do this. And if you can smoke single or one of your teammates can smoke single, that is an extreme bonus. And talking about bonuses, here is a bonus play from Donk, where he nades the door, jumps up onto the little box to get an elevation change, and takes the fight onto A site. After winning this, it's just a case of smoking off main and fighting for the site itself. And now you've got aggressive on T side. You've had the impact you've needed, but remember, this is a CT sided map still. So we want to have much more impact on CT if we can. So first things first, we're going to take a look at what the aggressive players tend to do or where they tend to play. And that is towards the outside and main positions. And I know that Kyousuke now plays ramp on his team, but in pugs, he tends towards the outside and main position. And if you want to get aggressive on CT side, you want to put pressure on the players. Obviously you have the lobby crunch, but that requires some team dynamic and is, let's be honest, quite hard in a pug. So the other aggressive play is towards red. You want to be getting aggressive towards red, and your teammate, maybe if you duo queue at least, can make this super effective. So this play is tied to a oppressive utility that you condition round after round. So this is a Molotov deep towards the boxes to slow any rushes or cause damage. You smoke glaive to deny information and pressure T's, and then you choose an aggressive position on either back red to fight and gain outside information and numbers, or take cover front red behind the box. Yes, you can get information through sound, but you're there to catch players off guard or double up with a teammate playing garage. And this week, again, I learnt a lot of information from watching these players. It's like watching POVs and demos is actually useful for my growth. Why didn't I think of this earlier? For example, getting aggressive on CT can be useful, but you have to throw it in occasionally. And getting aggressive towards ramp or maybe towards lobby isn't your best bet. Just taking fights outside is a more effective way to get that aggression, but don't do it often. What you want to do more is focus on getting those T rounds and having more impact on T. So either playing with your team and having effective team play and trading effectively, or getting aggressive outside with a duo towards red and silo, putting the pressure towards outside and main and into secret. And also for CT, not fighting for outside all the time. One of my teammates always fights for outside, always takes that 1v1 fight, always tries to re-peek and always tries to put pressure. But you dying outside on CT has a far bigger impact on the round. If you lose outside, your team is then in a position where it could be split on at any point. And that is a problem.
Don't re-peek, don't peek, don't peek.
And taking that advice and those principles and getting those advantages where we can will keep pushing us up the elo and up the ranks. And that's what we want to do. Nuke isn't just a solo map where you can tear up the opposition. It's such an important team play map.
Guys, who's playing A, who's playing ramp? Could you speak? Could you speak?
And having at least a duo for a map like Nuke is important because not everybody knows how to play Nuke and knows the rotations.
Yeah, you didn't break door. You're fucked.
But if we take what we've learned from this week, I think we will have far more impact, and that will give us the advantages as well. And if you think there's anything I've missed or important bits of information that I need to know, do let me know in the comments, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to improve. So anything you can provide is greatly appreciated, because I know there's better players than me watching these videos. And I really appreciate you watching. The season is starting soon, and I'm really excited to get involved and get into this to see how we can do. And I hope you are too. So make sure you're subscribed, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week. Peace.